Hello, boys and girls. It's story time. Today I will read to you the story titled Little Red. Yes, boys and girls, we have read this book more than one time. The author's name is Pam Shiller. She wrote the words in this book. The illustrator's name is Dana Manginson. She drew and colored the pictures. Before we read our book, we're going to take a picture walk. That means we're going to look at the pictures on the page, not read the words, and talk about who are the characters in the story. Also, where does the story take place? This book actually has many different settings. The illustrator brings the book alive with her pictures. Okay, so let's take our picture walk. Let's turn the pages of the book and look at the pictures. There's Little Red. Looking at this page, where is this taking place? In the house or outside? That's right, it's inside. There's the mom and Little Red. Those are two characters in the story. They're inside because you can see that the mom has a table and her sewing machine, even the floor. Oh, where are they now? They are still inside, but if you look out the window, you can see the outside. And they're still the same two characters, the mom and Little Red. Looking at this page, boys and girls, where's the story taking place? Outside, in the forest. One of the characters has changed. There is Little Red and the wolf. That's right. Where's Little Red? She is outside. She's able to smell the flower, listen to the birds, and watch the clouds go by. Here we can see it is only the wolf. He is outside, but he looks like he's going inside. Oh. Here we can see Grandma, the character Grandma, is in her house. She is in her bed. Now, is the fox outside anymore? No, he is inside. Here you can see the fox in the bed, the wolf in the bed, and Little Red is outside. Now, Little Red is inside with the wolf. She is still inside. This page is a little hard to understand. Is she inside still, or did she go outside? She is inside, even though the page is white. We don't have any other pictures to describe what's happening. Oh, they are still inside. Little Red is thinking about where Grandmother could be. Grandmother is in the closet. Lastly, Little Red is outside. All right, boys and girls, now that we've done that, let's listen to the words in the story. All right, here we go. Little Red. Once upon a time, in a town not far away, there lived a sweet little girl and her mother. The little girl's mother made her daughter a beautiful hat from red wool. That's a material that you make things out of. It suited the little girl so well that she wore it every day. For that reason, everyone called her Little Red. So the mom made her a hat of wool, and it suited her very well. One day her mother told Little Red that her grandmother was sick in bed with a cold. She handed her a basket to take to her grandmother. In the basket there was a jar with soup, fruit, and bread. Little Red set out immediately, so she got started going to go see Grandma, to go see her grandmother. She lived across town. To get there, she had to go through the woods. On her way, she met with a wolf. The wolf asked Little Red, "Where is she going?" Not knowing that the wolf was dangerous, she answered him, because you shouldn't talk to strangers, "I am going to see my grandmother, who lives behind the movie theater." "Well," said the wolf, "and I'll go and see her too. I'll go this way. You go that way. We will see who will get there first." So he's outside. He's telling her, "You go one way, I'll go the other. We'll see who gets to grandmother's house first." Little Red took her time, so she was in no hurry. She stopped to smell the pretty dandelions. That's this flower. She listened to the singing and chirping of the birds. She lay down and watched the clouds dance across the sky. Little Red loved the way the sun fell on her face. She sat down on a rock and ate one of the apples her mother had placed in the basket. The crisp, tart taste of the fruit filled her mouth with the nicest sensations. The wolf instead ran as fast as he could, and since he also took the shortest path, he arrived at grandmother's house well ahead of Little Red. He knocked at the door. Tap, tap, tap. There's that onomatopoeia. "Who's there?" cried grandmother from her bed. "It is me, Little Red," replied the wolf, disguising his voice. Grandmother was delighted that her granddaughter had come to see her. She said, "Come in, sweet child," without even looking out the window to make sure it was her granddaughter. So you always should look first before you open the door. And as kids, you don't open the door. Ask an older adult to open the door. The wolf opened the door and immediately grabbed grandmother, tied her up with the belt of her robe, and tossed her into the closet. Then he took one of her nightgowns, put it on, and climbed into her bed. He anxiously awaited the arrival of Little Red, so he couldn't wait for her to get there. After some time, Little Red knocked at the door. Tap, tap, tap. "Who's there?" cried the wolf again, disguising his voice. Little Red, hearing the big voice of the wolf, was worried. She thought to herself, that must have made the cold must have made grandmother's voice hoarse, so where she couldn't really talk. "It is your granddaughter, Little Red," the wolf cried out to her, softening his voice as much as he could. "Come in, sweet child." Little Red opened the door and headed straight to her grandmother's bedside. As she got close to the bed, she was frightened. Her grandmother didn't even look like herself. The cold had made her eyes look strange, so different. And her nose was several times the normal size. Her nose was much, much bigger. Thinking that her grandmother's ears must also be stopped up, she moved closer and said in a loud voice, "Grandmother, you don't look like yourself. What big eyes you have." "All the better to see you with, my dear." Thinking her grandmother might not be able to see her very well, Little Red moved in a little closer. She noticed The grandmother's sweet powder smell was missing. "Grandmother, you don't smell like yourself." It's the eucalyptus I use for my cold, my dear." Little Red then reached for her grandmother's hand. But the wolf's paws didn't feel like her grandmother's soft hands. It was rough and coarse. So it was hard and, you might say something is coarse. It's hard and hairy. Immediately, Little Red let go. She moved in a little closer and surveyed her grandmother's face more carefully. So she's looking at her grandmother. "Grandmother, what big eyes you have." "All the better to hear you with, my child." "Grandmother, what big teeth you have." "All the better to eat you up," growled the wolf, as he jumped from the bed and attempted to grab Little Red. Little Red jumped away in the nick of time. Thankfully, the wolf, in his haste, got all tangled up in Grandmother's nightgown. He tripped and fell flat on the floor, bumping his head as he hit the ground. He was knocked out. Little Red pulled out her cell phone from her pocket of her cape and dialed 911. After she told the operator what had happened, she began to look for her grandmother. She glanced around the room, so she looked around the room quickly. Her grandmother was nowhere in sight, so she was nowhere to be seen. She sniffed the air, so she smelled the air, but there was no hint of grandmother's sweet powder, only the smell of eucalyptus. That's what people put on when they are sick. Little Red stood still and listened quietly in hopes of hearing her grandmother. Aha! What was that? She was sure she heard something knocking. She used her ears to follow the sound and ended up by Grandmother's house, Grandmother's closet. She opened the door, and there was Grandmother. Little Red untied her, hugged her, and helped her back into bed. As Little Red watched the animal obedience school officer haul the wolf out to the wagon, she thought to herself, "I sure learned an important lesson today. I will always trust my senses. That wolf didn't sound like my grandmother. He didn't look like my grandmother. He didn't smell like grandmother. And he didn't feel like grandmother. He was an imposter." So an imposter is someone that is not really true, or they pretend to be someone else. My senses told me so. The end. Going back and thinking about the story we read, the wolf, boys and girls. A wolf is an animal. A wolf is not an animal that you would keep in your home. It is a wild animal. Wolves eat many different things. But the wolves that we usually see or hear about in stories, they do not. So wolves usually are mean in the stories. I think the wolves, if you've ever seen a wolf, stay away and see how they move. It'll be a good time to watch and observe. I hope you enjoyed this book. Keep thinking about some stories that we have read this week and how they go together. Is it a nursery rhyme? Did you hear rhyming words? Did you even think about who the characters are? In this story, it was the wolf, the mom, Little Red, and the grandma. And the settings were very different too. Starting off, they were in the forest, then inside the house, and then even inside grandmother's house. Boys and girls, See you soon.